And we are back. You're listening to Gadfly Radio. I'm Ben Boychuk, part of the Gadfly trio, sitting in the captain's chair, Martha Montelongo and John Seiler at a conference today, so it's just me. Well, not just me, there's you. And there's John Raby. He's on the line from halfway around the world in South Africa, but he's reporting on this sort of slow-motion train wreck of a scandal at the Cal State University system. And before the break, I promised that we were going to talk about a related aspect of this story. John, last week you had a piece at calwatchdog.com. San Jose State Foundation filed fraudulent tax returns. Connect the dots for us, will you? How does this foundation lack of transparency relate to the pay increase scandal that we've been discussing?
If you go to a university, you're obviously familiar with a number of different nonprofit organizations and auxiliary organizations, related organizations that are offshoots of the university. And one branch of that is basically a slush fund for university presidents, to put it one way. It's a nonprofit foundation that's set up, and their articles of incorporation basically allow it to be run by the university presidents. So the IRS requires these organizations to disclose executive compensation for their executives and key employees for the organization itself, the Tower Foundation, in this case at San Jose State University, as well as related organizations that they're affiliated with. But if you look at the tax forms for 2007, 2008, and 2009 for the Tower Foundation, they report that none of their key employees, none of their executives, none of their trustees or directors received any compensation, zero. They filled in zeros across the board for all their key employees for both the organization itself, the Tower Foundation, and the related organizations. So to connect the dots completely then, one of the other ways that the Cal State system has gotten around and provided supplemental pay bonuses, because $300,000 a year isn't enough money, right?
Right.
They've provided university foundation supplements. So the Tower Foundation provided, I believe it was around $25,000 to $30,000 a year in supplemental nonprofit tax-deductible pay to the university president.
Right.
And yet none of that was reported on their taxes.
Okay, so the big question is, how in the world is that possible? Right. How is it that they can't report? Because that's a big deal. You just can't lie on IRS forms. The government frowns on that sort of thing. How is that possible?
That is the question that San Jose State University and the Tower Foundation need to answer. And I received an email late Friday night from Larry Carr, a senior executive at San Jose State University, promising that he would be available Monday to provide an explanation. And my email inbox is empty with any response for Larry Carr. So if he's listening, or any other San Jose State University personnel are listening, I think we're waiting for the explanation of that.
Well, surely there's some rational explanation for it, but I mean, I just in the context, you see, there's a great deal of hubris in all of this. It seems to be, and a great deal of arrogance in all of this. And this is the sort of the running theme in this show and any California story involving the government. There just seems to be, I don't know, a disconnect. A sort of feeling of entitlement. It just seems to me, it just beggars belief that, I think you can have a foundation like that, right? I mean, if you're collecting private money, that makes some sense. If you want to give bonuses to your administrators, for example, if you're collecting private money and if the accounting of that money is transparent, right?
Well, I mean, yes, to a certain point, but I would disagree a little bit with you on that.
Okay.
Because these are public employees.
Sure.
They're public employees, first of all. And second of all, most individuals, when they give to a school foundation, think the money is going to one of two things, I would think. They think it's either going to help students who can't afford to go to school pay for scholarships or tuition, or they think it's going to some sort of research or some sort of support for the university itself. I think a lot of people would think twice if they knew that even a small portion of this money was going to supplement the already high salaries of these executives. But I think you're right on the larger point, which is if you want to do that, that's fine. Just be transparent about it. Just
Yeah.
offer an explanation. Just be open and honest to the public, and be open and honest to your own donors
Right.
as to where this money is going.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a no, that's a very good point, and I hope San Jose State is a bit more forthcoming with you. If not today, then sometime this week, and we're going to want to circle back with you, John, on this. But we're coming up at the bottom of the hour. I want to thank you so much for calling in from Cape Town, South Africa, to fill us in on this what's happening at Cal State University. People can read your stories at www.calwatchdog.com. John, thanks a lot. You're listening to Gadfly Radio with Ben Boychuk. We will be right back.
How old is